guys, welcome back to another Plan With Me video in my bullet journal. This month's theme, as you already know, is Stranger Things, my favorite TV show at the moment. I had a really good and hard time planning all the spreads for this month because there are too many references and quotes on the show and I wanted to incorporate them all in my spreads, obviously, but that's almost impossible, so I used my favorite ones in this month's theme. And the reason why I did Stranger Things and not Christmas as a theme for December, it's because I don't particularly like Christmas, and having a Christmas theme on my bullet journal is probably never going to happen, so I decided to do Stranger Things instead because I found that was the perfect theme to end the year in a good way. For the cover page, I wrote Stranger Things at the top and December 2019 at the bottom using the Tombow Dual Brush Pen in the number 847, and I drew the iconic image of Eleven, Mike, Lucas and Dustin on their bikes in the real world and Will running away from Demogorgon in the Upside Down, which is the easiest image to draw that incorporates almost every important point from the show. And I colored them in with my Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip pen, because this pen is amazing to coloring in, because in the end you don't see the strokes of color in your drawing as you see with other pens, so this pen is really good to color in. Anyways, in this month's spreads I'm not going to draw any character or anything because it was going to be too hard and I decided that it was better to do collages instead of drawings, so that's what I did. And I kept the spreads pretty simple to recreate if you want to. Next, for the monthly calendar pages, I wrote the date that Will Byers disappeared at the top. Even though he disappeared in November and I'm doing this theme in December, I had to incorporate the date. I used the same red for the title and it's the same color for all the titles. The main focus for this month was to not be super restrictive in terms of straight lines and centered things, because Stranger Things it's messy and I wanted to bring that vibe to my spread, so I didn't use any rulers and I didn't care about straight lines. Then I glued a photo of Eleven in the tent that Mike built her and the quote for the same scene when Mike says, "Maybe we can call you L, short for 11, which I thought that was so cute. Moving on to the notes section page, I glued the poster that Jonathan put on his school when his brother disappeared and a line that opened up, at least for me, the whole story from when the boys are playing Dungeons and Dragons. And Will needed to roll the dice to see if he escaped the Demogorgon or if the Demogorgon got him, but the dice rolls over the floor and it was a 7. So Will says to Mike, "It was a 7, the Demogorgon, it got me." For the notes section itself, I started by doing a dirty and old paper effect using water and a grey marker to paint the paper, and for the outline and shadows I used the Muji 0.5 gel pen. Next, I wrote the word notes using a similar font to the one that Joyce used to paint the alphabet on the wall, and I'm going to use this font for all the words in black. Then I drew a straight line with the word run and the 3 little lights, and after that I wrote the line from Hopper when Joyce goes to talk to him about Will's disappearance, and he says 99 out of 100 times a kid goes missing. The kid was with a parent or a relative, and she asks what about the other time, because Hopper thinks that Lonnie, Will's father, took him away, but Joyce knows that he disappeared in another way. Then I glued a picture of the boys from season 2 and I just wrote their names, and Will's is upside down. And back to the string lights, I colored them in using a dark blue in the number 535 and the same red in the number 847 and a yellow in the number 055. And that concludes these 2 pages. Moving on to my habit tracker pages, I did the title with the same red, and I decided to do each tracker on an ego, because we all know how much Eleven loves egos, so it was obvious that I had to dedicate a page only for egos. So each habit is going to have an ego, and I used an orange marker mixed with a yellow marker plus water to create the right tone of yellow for the egos. And then I used the darker yellow marker to do the outline and the shadows, and a white gel pen. Mine is the Uniball Signo gel pen, Angelic color, which is not the best white pen, but it's the only one I have, but it turned out really great, so I'm okay with that. The squares of the egos are going to be my days of the month, and the habits that I'm going to track are stretching, study, read, water, no junk food, and waking up by 7:30. Next is my mood tracker, and in the upper right corner I glued a picture of Joyce holding the string lights from when she's talking to Will. And to track my moods, I did the classic Christmas string lights, and I didn't calculate the numbers of the month to be exact number of each line, so it looks messier. And for the numbers I used the font that she used to write the alphabet on the wall. And the moods that I'm going to track are red for happy, blue for productive, yellow for tired, and green for a bad day. By the way, the list of supplies is going to be in the description box, in case you're curious. Moving on to my expense tracker, I drew the Coca-Cola can that Eleven crushed when she was in the lab, and I used the same red from the title. I don't know if anyone is going to notice this, but in case you're wondering why the string lights in my desk change place and they are different from page to page, it's because I can only film 2 pages in one day because of the natural light that I have in my room, and I need to take them off every day after I film because I work on this desk, and I can't work with string lights messing up my space. In the bottom of the page, I glued a collage of Eleven's face, first when she was in the lab, then when she was with the boys, then when she became Jane Hopper, and finally the bitchin phase. Next, in my shopping cart, I did a little collage of all the photos that their mothers took on Halloween at the beginning of season 2, when they were all dressed as the Ghostbusters, and at the top I wrote the famous question, "Who you gonna call?" from the film. Both spreads are very similar in terms of content, but the expense tracker is for me to track where I spend my money and how much I spend, and the shopping cart is for things that I want to buy online and I need to keep track if I bought them and if they arrived. Last but not least is my weekly spread, and I think that this spread was the hardest to plan because I didn't want the boxes for each day to be equal or symmetrical, so I did larger boxes, taller boxes, smaller boxes, all pretty much different from each other, and I used that dark red from the headers and the Muji 0.5 gel pen for the boxes and to draw the Christmas lights for each day of the week. Then I colored them in with the same blue, yellow and green from before, and I wrote the names and the days of the week using the same Muji pen. Now for the blank spaces on the pages, I decided to use it to write some quotes from the show, and I obviously couldn't put all of them on these 2 pages, so in each week I'm going to put different quotes and references, and I'm going to post them on my Instagram, so be sure to follow me there to see the other weeks. First, I wrote a quote from 11, Friends Don't Fly, and I wrote Mouth Breather with my Staedler Triplus Fineliner in red, and in the bottom I wrote the mumbling that 11's mother says, and right beside that I wrote Jane in a dark grey marker, because that's the 11's real name, so it makes sense. In the next page I put the line that Dustin said when he got his new teeth, and he says that she will not be able to resist these pearls, because now he has teeth. Then I wrote He Likes It Cold from when Will is sick and he still has a little bit of Demogorgon inside him. And then I wrote the question Promise, and at the bottom I wrote the title of the iconic song from Stranger Things, Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash. And to finish the spread, I'm just doing a drop shadow on every box using my Tombow Fudenosuke pen. I hope you guys enjoyed this month's theme as much as I did, and let me know other themes like this to do, like TV shows, movies, maybe like Marvel or something. I don't know, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.